All right, welcome back to Weights Lifted. Um, I said in the previous video that I was going to put another one up talking about some diet related stuff. And I got to make a run to the store, so this is when I'm going to do it. It's the only time I have that's quiet away from the wife and kids, really. So if you like what you see on the channel, please like and subscribe. Um, it helps out a lot. Anything you can do. You hit that little bell symbol. You get notifications when I put up new videos because I put up at least one a day. So today, what I wanted to talk about, I was thinking about, I don't know, other stuff to talk about when it comes to diet. You know, I've talked about it a little bit here and there, and I've talked about how I think diet's 90% of it. If you're talking about just aesthetics, like everybody has their own goals. Like they want to get stronger, they want to get well, it's usually either they want to get stronger, they want to get bigger, or they want to get leaner. Those are usually the three goals I think most people go for. My thing was always losing weight because I was always fat. You know, I was fat most of my adult life. But one of the things I thought about that I wanted to talk about was the importance of weight training when it comes to losing weight. Because you usually hear people talk about, you know, whatever diet you want to pick, whatever way. It's all restricting calories one way or another. But whatever way you choose to do that, Weight Watchers, keto, carnivore, just counting macros, whatever. But they focus on the calorie intake, and then it's like cardio is what you'll hear people say. Cardio or some type of high intensity training, um, whatever that may be, running, biking, um, whatever. So, but something, and not everybody, a lot of the younger people, I think, have figured this out. But like, I'll be talking to like, it's either older people or a lot of times it's women. Like me and my mom have talked about this a little bit, and me and my wife, like what how important it is to still do resistance training of some kind. Because if you think about it, when you want to lose, you say you want to lose weight, which is true. You want the number on the scale to go down, but what you want to lose fat. You want most of that weight to be fat, right? And because you want to look better. You look better when you're leaner, and leaner means more muscle than fat, right? So the problem is when you start restricting calories, like especially when you start restricting them like crazy. But even if you don't, just over time of eating less calories, your body doesn't discriminate where that weight loss comes from, especially because muscle is a lot more. It takes a lot more for your body to hold on to that than fat. Like it doesn't want to destroy muscle. I'm not saying that, but it takes a lot more energy to maintain muscle mass than it does fat. So over time, you'll lose both. Now, you want to try to get your body to hold on to as much muscle as possible while you're trying to lose weight. And the only way to do that is to give it a reason to hold on to muscle, which is giving it some type of stimulus that tells it, "Hey, I need this muscle. If we're gonna cut something, we got to cut the fat." And I'm doing this is real layman's terms, and this is just what I understand. I'm not a doctor. This is just what I've figured out over years of trying to do it, and watching and listening to other people and seeing what works and what doesn't. So you weight train, right? It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be crazy, but it needs to be part of the. It needs to be part of the formula when you're trying to get into shape. It can't just be diet, cardio. You got to have some type of resistance training to tell your body to hold on to as much muscle as possible and get rid of most of your excess energy in the form of fat. That's my opinion, you know. So I've noticed a lot of people, like, they'll focus strictly on the diet. And here's the other thing too: the more muscle you have, the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolic rate will stay as you try to lose weight, right? So, because muscle is a metabolically expensive thing to have. Like, it takes a lot more energy to maintain your muscle mass. So, that's why you see, like, if you ever listen to interviews with bodybuilders who are cutting, like, anyone too. Like, I mean, natural bodybuilders, they get their calories get pretty low towards the end, but even then, not as low as, like, you would think. But you talk to any bodybuilders that have a lot of muscle mass, they're like, I'm starving and I'm cutting weight. And what are you eating? 3,500, 4,000 calories a day. Dude, that's a lot. That's still a lot of food, you know? Like, I've gotten down to ridiculously low trying to lose weight. I've gotten down to under 2,000 calories a day trying to lose weight as a man, as a grown man. That's not a lot. And I'm not saying that's the healthiest thing. I'm just saying that's I've done that before. Um, and so that's the other important thing with weight training, is you want to try to build that muscle mass up so that when you do cut weight, it's not as hard. You don't have to cut weight. You don't have to cut your calories as low, because the more you can eat and still lose weight, the easier it's going to be for you to diet, the more likely you are to stick to it, and the the more room you have on the runway. Like, if you start out having to eat whatever, like, say if you're a dude, and just to start seeing the scale move, you got to start out at 2,000 to 500 calories. Like, if you're a shorter dude like me, like, if you got to start out between that 2,000 to 2,500, you got nowhere to go. There's no more down. There's no more down. You know what I mean? Like, you're at the bottom floor already. Like, if you can if you throw some weightlifting in there, build up some muscle mass, and then start cutting. If you can start cutting at the 3,000, 3,500, like, if you can start around there and you're losing weight, then you're in a pretty good spot to keep going. This is for, like, the run of the mill dude, you know. But it also depends on what your job is. Like, I'm lucky because my job is also hard. Like, I'm on my feet all day. Some days are crazy. Some days I'll drop 7 pounds in a day, like during the summer, like, just on the scale weight, like water weight and other stuff. Like, some days are hard, but, like, if you have a sedentary job where, like, most of the time you're just sitting around not doing much, you gotta give your body a reason to want to hold on to that muscle and get rid of only fat. So that's what I wanted to touch on, was, like, if you're trying to lose weight, it's all got to be it's all got to be part of it. And you're not gonna, like, for women too, like, they think, like, I don't want to look too bulky. You're not you're you're not gonna. It takes a lot of work and a long time to get to that I'm too bulky, like, image. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that easy. You're not gonna get too bulky for most of the women out there, I promise you. Same thing with dudes. Like, it's not like, I don't want to be one of these big jacked dudes. You're not. Chances are you're not. You're just gonna hold on to. If you start working out the same time you start dieting, like, best case scenario, you're gonna hold on to what you have at that moment. You're not gonna put on much. Like, I buy into that whole, like, bulk and cut type of lifestyle. Like, you gotta focus on one thing at a time. So I'm getting to the point where I might have to start trying to bulk up a little bit soon, because I've been stagnant around 200 pounds for the last month. So, yeah, that's all. I just wanted to give a different perspective on that. Like, the name of the game is lose fat, not just weight. You want to lose fat. And the more you can focus it on losing fat and maintaining muscle, the happier you'll be at the end of it. Because I've lost weight without training. I've lost weight without lifting weights. I've just stuck to, like, the first time I did Weight Watchers, I just stuck to what Weight Watchers said, did nothing else, and dropped 50 pounds. You know, got down to what I am around right now. I did not look how I look right now. You know, I didn't look bad. I looked way better. That's like, I don't want to be too critical. Like, I did not look worse. Like, I looked way better at 200 than 250. But the 200 I was then and the 200 I am now looks way better than the 200 I looked then, if you get what I'm trying to say. So focus on all of it. Do it all. It just feels good. Lifting, there's a reason people lift weights. Like, once you get through the beginning where you're sore all the time, it feels good. You know? So I would even almost say, like if you're gonna pick one to start with, like if you're like, diet, exercise, like, I would almost start getting into the habit of working out regularly before you attack the even though the diet's the most important part of it. I think building a routine is just as important, and it's going to be way easier to stay working out and lift, like with weightlifting, if you're not like, because when you start dieting, you will feel more tired, more sluggish, and that will happen. So I don't know. It's to each their own. Whatever you want to do. I'm not trying to be dogmatic. Try them both. That's the biggest thing. Is just don't let, if any one of these things like fails, don't let that keep you down. That's how I got to where I'm at. I just kept trying. You know, try it. This didn't work. All right, I'll do this. You know. Over the last 3 years, lifting weights is what I've been the most consistent with. I've fallen off the diet. I've gotten back on the diet 5, 6 times. Lifting weights is what I've been the most consistent with, hands down. Over the last 2 years, I've probably taken a total of, if you add everything up, like vacations and missed days, over the last 2 years, maybe a month has been taken off of lifting weights. If you add it all up, it's not a lot. Like I'm saying, take 2 weeks for a vacation, I'll lift weights on vacation, then the other 2 weeks are just missing days. You know, it's what I lift weights. It's what I do. It's why the name of the channel is Weights Lifted. It's just about the fucking the weights I lifted. So this is just kind of, I'm just kind of ranting now. You know, if there's anything else you guys want to hear me talk about, I talk about what foods I eat. I could even talk about my experiences with specific diets. But yeah, this was more just to focus on, like, if you're going to try to lose weight, you got to try to hold on to muscle too. And the way to hold on to muscle is resistance training, whether that's lifting weights, whether that's body weight, push-ups, squats, whether that's getting bands. Bands are probably the cheapest thing to add in that's not body weight, you know. But you got to add some type of resistance training if when you start, if you're really going to get serious about dieting, in my opinion. And again, who am I? I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude on YouTube telling you what he's done. I'm no one special, you know. So again, if you like these, if you like what I'm doing, or even if, you know, even if the videos to you are meh, but you support the idea behind what I'm doing, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. You know, so that all helps. Like, anytime, like, you know, when I log on to the YouTube thing and I see one more subscriber, it's a little it's a little boost to keep going, because it's hard even doing this, because like I said, I'm not that guy. I'm not the social media posting stuff all over type of dude, you know. Most people don't even know I'm doing this. Most people that I know don't even know I'm doing this. So I just thought I'd give it a shot, because why not me? Everybody else not everybody, but a lot of people seem to do it. Some of them get success, and people like to watch them. Hopefully, some of you people find this relatable. Some of you guys out there watching find this relatable. You know, and like I said, this is just what I've done, my experience. So please like and subscribe, comment anything you want to see or any changes you want to see, comment. You guys said something about the microphone. I had a microphone that day. Like, give me some suggestions and some support. It's all appreciated. All right. You guys have a good, wherever you're at, rest of your Sunday. This is Sunday for me. Yeah, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Chess day.